I'm literally sitting in my truck, engine idling, sweat already soaking through my shirt in the kind of August heat that melts your brain, when this woman in blinding tennis whites storms across my brand new lawn and slams her palm on my driver's window like she's the sheriff serving a warrant. That dock is illegal, and you have 48 hours to demolish it, or we're filing liens and taking you to court. No hello, no, welcome to the neighborhood. Not even a smile, just a legal threat to rip out the century-old wooden dock that sold me on this place. The spot where I plan to honor my late wife's memory every single sunrise. And I'm just sitting there, smelling her cloud of aggressive perfume swirl into my truck's diesel exhaust, hearing her acrylic nails drumming a battle march on the glass. But here's what Queen Tennis didn't know. I had the original 1924 construction permits sitting right in my glove box. And I'm a retired Marine Corps engineer who spent 3 decades wrangling scarier folks than suburban bullies with HOA letterhead. Stick around, because what happened next turned Bethany Cromwell's little power trip into the biggest mistake of her life. Go ahead, drop your location and your worst HOA horror story below, because you're about to hear one that beats them all. You're probably wondering how a guy winds up being threatened by suburban terrorists on what should be the best day of his life. Well, grab your popcorn because it gets wild. 6 months back, I was Sawyer Mitchell, 52, living in a San Diego apartment that smelled like industrial carpet cleaner and broken dreams. 30 years as a Marine Corps waterway engineer, and all I had to show for it was a pension, a dusty purple heart, and a hole in my chest where my wife Rebecca used to be. Cancer took her, pancreatic the brutal kind. Her last words weren't, "I love you," or "take care of yourself." They were, "Find somewhere beautiful, Sawyer. Find peace." She made me promise I'd scatter her ashes somewhere that felt like home, somewhere we'd both want to stay forever. That's how I found Pine Valley Lake, one random Tuesday at 2 a.m., scrolling real estate listings because grief makes you do dumb things. This 1950s cottage popped up, dock stretching out into a mirror-still lake, mountains painted across the water like some Rockwell fever dream. I drove 8 hours to see it, took one look at that dock in the golden afternoon, and just knew this was it. This was the place I'd keep my promise to Rebecca and finally exhale. The bubbly blonde realtor swore the HOA was super chill, just lawn stuff. She didn't mention Bethany had ruled these 47 houses like her private kingdom since the Obama years. Bethany, the kind of 50-something who wears tennis outfits to the grocery store, married to Sterling, some bank VP whose last original thought probably happened before their wedding. Their McMansions, all fake columns and gold fixtures, like Vegas threw up on a colonial. For 11 years, she's run this place with fake emergencies, bureaucratic threats, and elections. No one ever seems to win but her. Moving day started at 5 a.m. 9 hours in a truck that became a rolling oven. All I wanted was to unload, crack a beer on my new dock, and watch Rebecca's favorite time, the golden hour, when even broken things look forgiven. Instead, I got Bethany's shock and awe, her dock ultimatum, handed over with a fancy compliance notice citing environmental violations apparently invented while I was crossing state lines. The beautiful irony? Before I even bid on the place, I'd researched every permit back to the Coolidge administration. This dock was built in 1924, legal as apple pie, wrapped in grandfather clauses that could outlive nuclear winter. But Bethany stands there like she's God handing me an eviction notice. Old habits kicked in. I started photographing her citation. When her confident smile cracked, I knew I had her. "Ma'am, this dock predates your HOA by 15 years, and I have the permits." For a second, panic flashed across her face, but she snapped the mask back on and marched off, her committee shuffling behind. Across the street, my new neighbor, a guy with a military bearing, watched from his window and gave me the slow head shake. Not judgment, just warning. Next morning, I'm savoring my first cup of coffee on the dock, Rebecca's old ritual, when the doorbell rings like the world's ending. Through the peephole, I see a county inspector holding a clipboard, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Rick Smallwood, county building inspector. Got a complaint about an unauthorized dock. Thing is, county offices don't open till 8:30, so someone with serious juice made this happen at 7:30. The smell of Rick's cigarette breath and lake mist told me he'd been nervously smoking in his truck, probably praying Bethany's drama didn't ruin his day. Who filed the complaint? I asked. He shrugs. Came from the HOA president. Said there's environmental violations, public safety issues. Most folks would panic, maybe start tearing down the dock. But Bethany didn't realize military engineers don't just document. We document in triplicate with backups and laminated copies. I walked Rick down, spread out the 1924 permits, yellowed county letters, Army Corps of Engineers praise for 1987, environmental assessments, the whole 9 yards. Rick studied the stack, eyes wide. This is better documented than most bridges. Then I show my retired military ID. Rick snapped to attention. Ma'am didn't mention you were Corps. Nope. What did she tell you? I asked. According to Bethany, I'm a rogue newcomer who built an illegal dock, threatening the lake and maybe getting violent. Your classic unstable vet stereotype. The irony? I'd spent 15 years building eco-friendly waterway structures. This dock's good for the fish, I said, showing him the spawning eddies. Rick, relieved to talk engineering instead of HOA drama, was just getting into it when Bethany storms up again with her entourage, demanding a demolition schedule. Rick grins. Ma'am, this dock is legal. Masterclass legal. Bethany's face cycles through red, white, and purple. Impossible, she shrieks. She waves another paper. My boat trailer violates RV storage. $500 fine. But I'd actually read the HOA bylaws. Trailers under 26 feet, registered to a resident, are exempt. Second defeat, and it's not even 9 a.m. 3 days later, every mailbox gets Bethany's latest propaganda. Emergency HOA meeting Thursday at 7, agenda packed with code for let's destroy the new guy. I show up early. The place reeks of disinfectant and 40 years of petty grudges. Bethany's hand-picked front row, her husband Sterling lurking by the coffee, 2 country club types, tax attorney, and other Stepford neighbors. But the working folks, families with kids, nowhere in sight. The emergency meetings always happen when normal people can't show. I settle in, pull out my phone, start recording. Bethany launches into a 20-minute slideshow about how my dock's killing the lake, disrupting base, causing algae, threatening property values. It's flat earth science with a PowerPoint. She proposes mandatory environmental assessments for every waterfront property, $1, $800 a pop, payable in 3 weeks. And wouldn't you know it, Sterling's company is the only one qualified to do these inspections. That's when I realized it. This wasn't stupidity. This was racketeering, plain and simple. The vote? 8 hands shoot up, her loyalists. The meeting breaks, and outside, Rick Hendricks, one of the few real neighbors, fills me in. She's targeting anyone who might challenge her, he whispers. People just give up and leave. Kowalski's got run out over fake violations. Patel's paid thousands in bogus fines. That Navy kid, Diego, she's after him for solar panels. Anyone with backbone or brains became a target. But this time, Bethany picked the wrong guy. I started digging. Monday, coffee on the dock. I get a certified letter from Bethany's fantasy land. $6, $400 in emergency waterway restoration fees, retroactive to before I'd even moved in. Pay in 7 days or face a lien and foreclosure. It's so fake the notary stamp's still wet. I'm photographing the paperwork when my phone buzzes. Mr. Mitchell? Agent Indigo, FBI Financial Crimes. Can we chat about your neighborhood association? Turns out, Bethany's racket's been on their radar. Complaints in 4 counties, same playbook, bogus fees, family contracts, drive out the smart folks. That night, my security cameras, because military paranoia never dies, catch Sterling sneaking around my dock with a toolbox. The footage is gold. Him loosening bolts, trying to saw anchor cables, and, get this, accidentally cutting the main power line for half the neighborhood. Sparks, explosions, the whole block goes dark. Emergency trucks roll in, and Deputy Martinez gets to hear Sterling explain why he's doing HOA maintenance at midnight. Charges: criminal mischief, destruction of public property, trespassing, reckless endangerment. Bethany responds with an email blast accusing me of being a dangerous veteran who provoked poor Sterling's midnight inspection. Each sentence is another felony: harassment, witness intimidation, conspiracy. But now, neighbors start putting it together. Years of fees, convenient contracts, and why anyone who asked questions got harassed. My morning coffee tastes like justice is brewing. I keep digging. County records show that when Bethany expanded her property, she bulldozed right through a public access easement, illegally. Used HOA funds to pay for Sterling's fake assessments. Bank records? Nearly $80,000 siphoned into their house. When I call Agent Indigo, she tells me, "Congratulations, you just upgraded this from fraud to organized racketeering." The truth, Bethany wasn't protecting the lake from me. She was protecting her criminal empire from anyone who might understand the scam. For the first time since Rebecca's diagnosis, I feel that old mission clarity. This isn't just about my doc anymore. Neighbors start reaching out, military, families, even Gus across the street who witnessed the original easement survey. We form a plan, return stolen property, deliver justice with military precision. My doc becomes the war room. Federal agents, journalists, Diego with his Navy intel skills, Julia Indigo with boxes of HOA fraud cases, Gus bringing 1987 files, Sarah Hendricks with forensic accounting. We prep for the next HOA meeting, federal sting, media coverage, every detail lined up. Bethany tries to bribe me to leave. $15,000 check caught on camera. She confesses half her crimes while thinking she's negotiating. The next day, she puts flyers in every mailbox, calling me a dangerous, PTSD-riddled veteran. Veterans rally from 3 counties, coffee and camaraderie by the lake. Sheriff Martinez, a Vietnam vet, tells her veterans supporting each other isn't a crime. Filing false reports is. Thursday night, final HOA meeting. I show up in dress blues, 6 honor guard vets at my side. 60 residents pack the room. Bethany tries to paint me as a dangerous extremist. I stand, lay out the evidence, original easements, Army Corps reports, bank records, Sterling's arrest logs. The room explodes. Agent Indigo stands, "Bethany Cromwell, you're under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, environmental crimes, and racketeering." Handcuffs click. Sterling gets the same. Residents finally see the truth. Bethany gets 18 months in federal prison. Sterling 2 years and banned from consulting anywhere near water. $96,000 in stolen funds recovered. Illegal expansions demolished. Wetlands restored. New leadership, real elections. Sarah Hendricks as treasurer. Diego as president. Funds used to restore the community boat launch and create a memorial pavilion for military families targeted by HOAs. Julia's reporting sparks statewide reforms. Mandatory audits, fraud reporting, a legal defense fund for veterans. Every spring, we award the Rebecca and Mitchell Memorial Scholarship, connecting young people to community service and environmental justice. My dock becomes the gathering place it was always meant to be: morning coffee, evening fishing, kids laughing where there used to be fear. We learned how to fight back and win, and that sometimes the best way to honor the past is to make sure no one else has to fight alone. So if you're dealing with HOA harassment or systematic intimidation, share your story in the comments. Stand up, document everything, build community. You'd be surprised what regular folks can accomplish when they refuse to back down. The sound of gentle waves on my dock isn't just peaceful, it's the music of victory.